Hello and welcome back to another weekly update for the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets. My name is Gordon Frayne and we're going to be diving into all the latest updates from the past 7 days. As always, before we jump into the video, please make sure to give a thumbs up below if you enjoy the content. Smash that subscribe button. We are on the road to our first 1,000 subscribers, and hit that bell notification icon so you can get updated every time we drop a new video. We are dropping multiple videos every single week, so you're going to want to get notified to stay on top of all the latest movements in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency space. So another big week in terms of the market. We have lots of growth and volatility going on. First and foremost, we are sitting at an overall market cap of around 2.64 trillion US dollars. Bitcoin is up about 8% on the week. We obviously saw that dip last week back down into the mid 60s range, low to mid 60s range, but back up again above 70k in the past 24 hours and hovering just under $70,000 right now at a price of about 69,300. Ethereum is up about 4% on the week, and then we will look at some of the other bigger gainers in a moment. But we saw the overall market cap, over the past month or so, we've had some pretty good growth, going from about 2.3 trillion all the way up to 2.66 trillion as of today. We did peak above 2.77, even hitting 2.78 trillion. In the middle of March, and then the past 7 days, we've seen a slight upwards trend, going from about 2.42 trillion to about 2.64 trillion as of today. Looking at some of the biggest gainers and losers of the week over the past 7 days, again, there's two narratives that really seem to be the winners here in the month of March, and that is the meme coins as well as the AI tokens. So Dog with Hat leading the way as a meme coin, up over 60% in the past 7 days. Then we've got the likes of Mantle, Pendle, Dogecoin, another meme, up over 40%. We've got Internet Computer performing pretty well, up over 30%. And then other AI tokens like Singularity Net as well as Fetch AI, both up over 25% on the week. Some other good performers like Bonk for the memes. We've got Gala Games up over 17%. Again, Shiba Inu 14%. Algo performing pretty good. Filecoin EOS as well. Some good winners there. In terms of top losers, we've got the KuCoin token down 15%. We've got Phantom down 14%. Caspa, Pyth Network, Helium Avalanche down about 1 to 4% each. But far more gainers than losers this past week. And as we saw that bit of market recovery from the dip last week, we have seen more winners and gainers over the past 7 days. As a reminder, we are fast approaching the Bitcoin halving. We are only about 24 days away. The halving date ETA is currently set for April 22nd. 2024 at a block height of 840,000. Again, this is a moving target, but 24 days out, we are just over 3 weeks away, less than 1 month from the Bitcoin halving. And we know from previous cycles that the supply shock event of the Bitcoin halving typically tends to lead to upwards price movement, as we will see when we zoom out in a few minutes on the chart. Bitcoin dominance is sitting at about 53.69%, up ever so slightly on the week. So last week we were sitting just above 53%, and we're about 53.5, 53.68% as of today. Again, the ETFs continue to pump money into Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin dominance that we've seen since kind of Q4 of last year in anticipation of the ETF approvals, and then since January, Bitcoin is sitting pretty strong above the 50% mark, has not really dipped below that since October of last year. So we are still standing very strong on Bitcoin dominance as we speak. So moving into the altcoin season index, it has been a little bit more of an altcoin month than a Bitcoin month from a returns perspective. We're still not in full altcoin season mode, I would say, but a little bit stronger for altcoins over the past month or so. Looking at the top 50 performers, again, over the past month, it's very much about AI and it's very much about meme coins. So we've got, again, Dog with Hat up over 2,000% on the past month, which is crazy. We've got Pepe up over 500%. Some of the AI coins like Fetch up over 370%. We've got Shiba up over 200%. We've got Sui performing pretty well, up over 150%. Render, Doge, Theta, Maker, Gala, Phantom, BNB, all up over 100% in the past month alone, which is some crazy returns. Bitcoin itself up over 70% in the past month. So again, a lot of continued growth with Bitcoin, some very, very good returns in a 1 month period. And then at the bottom of the table, we've got some of the worst performers like Monero down about 17%, Injective only up 2%. But again, I think this really just shows how much capital is flowing into the space right now. We've got only one coin in the top 50 that is in negative returns over the past month. Everything else is in the green, as we can see. And again, some of the lowest performers are still up over 3, 5, 7% on the month. Looking at the top performing narratives month to date, obviously as we close out the month of March, we have some data here to review, but no surprise that the meme coins are the top narrative month to date. We've obviously seen huge amounts of movement as we just looked at the gainers and winners of the past month. Real world assets is another big performer. And as we will see, there was some big news over the past week or two with BlackRock. In a moment, we will look more into that. We've had account abstractions, the Bitcoin narrative itself, identity and artificial intelligence as some of the biggest performers. And then worst performers, we've got the likes of NFTs, ordinals, derivatives, wallets, options, and real yield. So lots of interesting stuff going on in terms of narratives. And again, you're going to want to keep an eye on the narratives as we move through the bull cycle, because different narratives will have different mini cycles within the bull market. And if you're holding assets that are part of these different narratives, you're going to want to understand that in order to make the best gains and returns possible. So obviously this month has been heavily skewed towards meme coins and artificial intelligence. It'll be interesting to see if April continues to see high performance for AI and meme coins, or if we will see some of the other narratives begin to perform even better. Again, huge amounts of volume coming in from the 9 new Bitcoin spot ETFs in the USA. We did a separate video on this for the end of March as well. You can check it out on the channel. But as you can see, we are currently sitting at over 500,000 Bitcoin that have been purchased and accumulated by the 9 new US ETFs in less than 60 trading days. This is a phenomenal number. It's almost 2.5% of the entire Bitcoin supply that has been purchased by these ETFs, again, in less than 60 trading days. If we continue on this trajectory, the 9 new ETFs will accumulate close to 10% of the entire Bitcoin 21 million supply by the end of 2024 alone. So huge amounts of volume being pumped into Bitcoin from the spot ETFs, a lot of positive sentiment around it. We can see that net daily flows into the ETF continue to trend upwards. We did see a bit of a dip last week with lots of dumpage from Grayscale, but purchasing has increased again this week, and we are seeing BlackRock and Fidelity leading the charge there. BlackRock themselves have now over 250,000 Bitcoin purchased. Fidelity in second place with almost 150,000 Bitcoin purchased since the approval of the spot ETFs in January. Finally, looking to the Bitcoin cycle low multiple. Again, this is an interesting graph to keep an eye on as we approach the halving date. So what this represents here with the different colors is the 3 previous Bitcoin cycles in the lead up to and aftermath of the Bitcoin halving. The current era represented here with the red line, we can see is performing better than almost all the other eras or the other cycles in the lead up to the Bitcoin halving, which is represented here in the middle of the graph by day 0. And again, what we've seen in the aftermath of the halving in every single era is exponential price increases. Although we have seen diminishing returns, we do see exponential price increases and a bull market high in the 12 to 18 months after the Bitcoin halving. So we are, arguably performing better than previous eras. We did put in new all-time highs before the Bitcoin halving, which has never happened before. And, a lot of people believe that this is setting the precedence for potentially a parabolic cycle, or a cycle with potential exponential returns similar to era 1 and era 2 here in the aftermath of the 2012 and 2016 Bitcoin halvings. Of course, that remains to be seen, and we are speculating, but a lot of bullish sentiment and bullish signals with those new all-time highs being put in before the halving for the first time ever. Couple of quick news stories for the past week or so that we've seen. BlackRock enters asset tokenization race with a new fund on the Ethereum network. This is again another hugely bullish signal. We have seen Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, speaking on national television frequently about the tokenization of real world assets, and now BlackRock are making legitimate moves to start the tokenization race and begin tokenizing real world assets on the blockchain with the Ethereum network. You can check out other videos on our channel about tokenization of real world assets specifically, but basically we're going to start seeing the tokenization of everything from real estate to treasuries to bonds and everything in between on the Ethereum network and other blockchains. The real world asset tokenization space is set to reach about 10 trillion by the year 2030. And, we're seeing moves being made by the likes of BlackRock to really start ramping up real world asset tokenization on the blockchain for the next few years. Other big news, London Stock Exchange set to debut Bitcoin and Ethereum ETNs by May 28th. So again, the UK seeing the success of the US ETFs and the amount of inflows that we've seen and the popularity of those 9 new ETFs over the first 55 trading days or so, the UK is now making moves to set up similar investment vehicles for the UK market, with Bitcoin and Ethereum exchange traded notes set to be approved and going live just under 2 months from now on May 28th. So again, lots of bullish sentiment. The US leading the charge here in terms of those ETFs and the sheer amount of capital flowing into Bitcoin. The UK wants to get in on the action. They don't want to get left behind. And I think a lot of other countries are going to be following suit. We're seeing a lot of stuff being prepared for Hong Kong and the Asian market in terms of similar ETF investment vehicles. So lots of interesting sentiment going on. We've seen some good growth in the past week and recovery from that slight pullback down to the low to mid 60s with Bitcoin, but continuing to stand strong and huge amount of capital flowing into the Bitcoin space from the ETFs alone. So as always, let us know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to smash the thumbs up button on the way out if you enjoy the content. Hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to our first 1,000 followers. As I said, it would mean the world if you hit subscribe, and make sure to hit the bell notification icon so you can get notified every time we drop a new video. And as always, we'll catch you in the next one.